Over here we have Demi-Gorgon Crunch.
This is how all little boos are made. There's just a freaking conveyor belt. And then John Murdy tweeted out some really bad news. But Ed Warren, have you ever seen the Conjuring films? Okay guys, we're back at Universal Studios Florida. It's time for another Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. We'll be talking about what's going on with the Stranger Things rumors. We got Horror Unleashed updates. We got Murdy tweets. We're gonna go see how the Backlot Club experience is doing, have the cards restocked, and then we're also gonna be taking a little detour to the Lakeland Antique Mall. I wanna go on a hunt for some of the rare HHN artifacts that they have there. On that note, it's time to talk about the Halloween Horror Nights show today, right? We're gonna go back to HHN 2019, the year of Stranger Things. So on that note, let's roll the commercial.
Hi, I'm Freya Ferguson. You know me as Erica Sinclair on Netflix's Stranger Things. I'm about to walk through the Stranger Things haunted house here at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Let's go, nerds.
Okay, welcome back. Let's head in. We're back. The lights are now turned on for the garland. You know, the first thing we gotta do is hop into the tribute store real quick. They do have a Hanukkah snow globe, it looks like. $45 for that. So over here, we got a new little detail. We have a infinite fireplace. It's zoomed in. Wood-free. It's melting a little bit. Infinite fireplace too. We have some new images of Earl. They're constantly popping up. You're gonna have one here, right? This is gonna be Hill Valley Courthouse Square in Universal Studios Hollywood, where they filmed Back to the Future, but they had the tram tour going by there. I love that. You got Earl finding one of the nutcrackers inside of a freezer, but my personal favorite, Fast and the Furious up there. This is the scene where they're jumping car to car, and Earl is getting that nutcracker right there. And the parade's about to happen. So if you want a decent spot, they have an annual pass holder spot. You just come over here, show them your annual pass, then they'll let you in. All right, so we got the horror makeup show. We're gonna go over to the Backlot Tower, see if they've updated anything and fixed anything. We're gonna start the quest. The reward for completing this is like a little mystery pack of cards. Okay, so a lot of people are confused on how you kind of start this. So you can scan the QR code, or you can enter the website backlot.club. There's two different quests now, right? So there's the one for Orlando, the Earl the Squirrel's holiday quest, or they have started the Hollywood one now, so you can do this in Hollywood. But so pretty much, you'll scan all the different towers, and then at the end you'll get a reward, which is gonna be a mystery pack of cards. We'll see if they've restocked them today. I don't know what the reward is for Hollywood, but let's start it for today. Okay, the tower map has still not been updated, it looks like. All right, we checked in, we got 2 more to go. We'll claim it. Got the medallion. All right, we've hit level 11 now. So we are over by the horror makeup show. One of my favorite little Easter eggs here is gonna be in the garland, right? We got a little bloody knife inside the bulb as a little nod to Psycho. The man, the myth, the legend right there. And they have a little display. And if you come down here, they'll show you how the scene was done with the knife. When making Psycho, Hitchcock decided to shoot the thriller in black and white. When photographed, the fake red blood used for the infamous shower scene appeared gray. So they decided to use thicker substance that would photograph properly, which was chocolate syrup. When you're watching Psycho, it was just some chocolate syrup right there. Okay, so we made it into 5 and Dime now. Let's see if there's any new merch. They still have all the Hamikuma merchandise here. It stinks because they didn't have him in the park, so he had no representation really. He really couldn't connect with the local fan base, right? They had a meet and greet down in Hollywood, so hopefully next year we get a little meet and greet with him here to help sell the merchandise. $25. They have a little Chucky Hello Kitty shoulder plush. $45 for this figure of the Hello Kitty Chucky right there. She wants you for a best friend. $30. We got the Chucky slippers. These things are absolutely hideous, but it's got what's on Chucky's overalls. $27. They have Chucky's shoe, but as a mug. A massive mug. I think it looks more like a planter than an actual mug. They brought all the Universal Monster plushies from Epic over here now in 5 and Dime. The icicles have appeared in the trees here. And you know what's cold as ice? Ireland. Hey, you know who's in Ireland?
There's John Murdy right there. John!
Okay, so John Murdy tweeted out this: Happy Thanksgiving from Turkey Lurkey. Obviously not a holiday here in Ireland, but wanted to say I'm thankful for our amazing HHN team, our talented scare actors, and all you boils and ghouls who support our event year after year. Thank you. Someone asked John this: could we possibly learn a code name for a treatment you've done this year? And then someone says, is this for IP or original? John says, sorry, you're breaking up. Call back later. Have you seen the first volume of Stranger Things season 5 yet? John says, watched the first episode last night. My kids refused to go to bed and sneakily started the second episode. So my wife secretly turned off the Wi-Fi to the TV and told them the storm knocked it out. Suckers fell for it. How's treatment number 4 going? John says, should finish early this coming week. And then John Murdy tweeted out some really bad news. Finished the treatment for house number 4 today. It came in at a portly 138 pages. Did something I've never done before in the 20 years I've been creating HHN at Universal Studios Hollywood. I spent a week coming up with the concept, wrote a detailed outline, and then scrapped all that work and started over. Obviously, you'll never see the scenes I scrapped. They've been condemned to the ash bin of horror history, just down the rabbit hole and turned in the wrong direction. I finally found the muse at following it to light or darkness, and I think it's much better for it. And then speaking about HHN Hollywood, Five Fires posted this: Jurassic World broke down and got to see the horrors of the Wyatt Six one last time.
Wyatt Six. Wyatt Six. Oh, that Horror Night smell. I'm just soaking it in. Whoa. Hello. Wow. Hey, soak in that smell, man. That Horror Night smell. Wow.
Okay, welcome back. They got all the garland illuminated for the entire fence line, all the lights up there, and then all the little icicles. And then look at this. You can see the parade going down the street. Horror Unleashed has their Krampus experience, little overlay that just happened. My buddy Matt went. He did film this little clip of kind of like little story moment that happens like when Krampus is coming out.
Have you heard of old Nick? He's a jolly old chap with a sleigh full of toys and a red velvet cap. He delivers joy and cheer with a ho-ho-ho sound. But what if I said someone else was around? He's hairy, he's scary, he's not very sweet, with hooves on his feet and a growl when you meet. He is called Krampus. He's big and he's bold, and he comes at night when it's snowy and cold. And while Kris Kringle brings you toys from a sack, Krampus carries birch sticks and chains on his back. He watches the naughty, the mean, and the wild, and he's not too fond of your misbehaved child. Where he clinks and he clanks as he walks through the snow with a flick of his tail and a dreadful glow. He might leave you a warning, a stick, or a scowl. Or he might scoop up a rascal with a grump and a growl. So please be kind, please be good, and don't throw fits about throwing your food. And when winter winds blow and Kris Kringle is near, Krampus might follow to feed on your fears. Ah! Behold! Who is worthy?
Okay, so the Backlot Club website was saying the tower is still over here. Last time we were here, it was over by the Christmas shop, so everybody was confused and they couldn't find it. So let's see if they've added it over here to Springfield. The sign is still here. Refresh your holiday spirit. All right, so Backlot Tower is not here, so the map is still wrong. Okay, so then also Horror Unleashed has finally released some content. So if you remember earlier in the year, they had the podcast. Dave Solo was saying he's kind of creating content now for Horror Unleashed. So if you remember Dave Solo, old school HHN, right? Would do behind the scenes specials. Dave released a little special for Krampus Festival. That's like old school vibes right there. So I'm excited for what content is coming. I'm happy that there's an actual host that doesn't feel like some random TikToker. So hopefully this is the start of all the content coming for Horror Unleashed. One of my favorite little details, you have the Christmas lights, no Christmas lights, and then Christmas lights. Got the Christmas tree down there. We gotta go see Earl now that Earl is finally hiding in the tree. All right, so Earl's gonna be over here. He's gonna be like right there. Over here by the mummy, we got the other tower, so let's scan in, see what's going on. 2 checked in, 1 more to go. So we'll go to the Christmas shop, but again, that's not the one that's on the map. The map is not on the Christmas shop. So you got the Mummy, horror makeup, and the other one's supposed to be Springfield. Over here by Macy's, they've added some new stuff in the windows. Bruce right there, E.T., some of the elves in front of the Universal Archway. Here's another window. The problem with this is there's no teeth on the T-Rex. There's I guess he's gonna gum people to death. Not very intimidating, but there's no teeth on that T-Rex skeleton right there. I don't know what happened. We did get some food carts. This is where the Coca-Cola little photo op is. Coca-Cola loves their AI. I'm gonna guess this is honestly probably AI. There's a lot of wrinkles happening right there. It's not normal. These buttons look different. See how this is like the top portion is kind of like the bigger section. Then there's the little lump. And then here there's like the bigger lump of the small little section. And then down here, it's like centered. I think this is, I think that's AI art. It looks kind of funky with the buttons again. And then the face, it just looks a little funky. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Now we know about the AI Coca-Cola commercial, but here on this article about it, it also looks like the Santa Clauses that Coca-Cola is using is AI, because down at the bottom it says AI generated underneath the image of Santa. Now remember, Coca-Cola is worth over $300 billion, so they have the money to pay some artists. At least it says refresh your holiday spirit instead of holiday spirit. And then over here, they're gonna have a little beer cart. It says Universal Holiday. So over here will be the Backlot Club right there. Last tower, 20, 45. Wrong pin.
That's what mine said too.
That's literally is the final one.
Let me see the other side.
Oh, we can see in here now. Oh, they've taken down all the, oh, they got a couple of the decorations left from HHN. The yarn ball right there. This is where they had the meet and greet. But it looks like they're taking down all the different stuff. Okay, so we just screenshotted that it wasn't working. We're gonna go to the tribute store, see if the cards are restocked. You go to the second room and there should be like a team member there in a corner with the cards. Mel's driving us back. No longer Mel's dying. Let's go to Target real quick. There's all these Stranger Things merchandise pieces. This will all connect, I promise, at the end where we connect all the Stranger Things rumors together. But let's go to Target real quick, then we'll go to the tribute store.
They got so many different Stranger Things options. They have Stranger Things fruit roll-ups. They got Gushers. They got Hawkins 1987 collection for Frosted Flakes. We got spicy sweet chili Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos, mini cheddar, Cheetos and Doritos. Over here we have Demi Gorgon Crunch, syrup flavored cereal with upside down marshmallows, Flashlight Demi Gorgon, and D20. Then we're gonna have 1987 collection of Fruit Loops. Then we're gonna have hot ones. No, that has nothing to do with Stranger Things. Then they're gonna have a mini fridge. The Hellfire Lives Stranger Things. It's only 60 bucks. And these are little power banks. We have the van, I guess, for the new season. The Hellfire mixtape. Some sort of chicken. Max's Walkman. Here's be little Bluetooth speakers. You have one of Eddie, one of a Demi Gorgon, one of Steve when he's like beat up. You got 11 right there, and then we have a little pop socket that's got the radio station. They have a phone case. It looks like the walkie-talkies that the kids use. Down here we have Dungeons & Dragons, but Hellfire Club themed. Then we're gonna have just some vinyl albums. And then down here, what the heck is this? These are socks. There's 3 pairs of different socks here. There's also another pack of Stranger Things socks. And we have a backpack here. Oh, I like that the Jan Sport is upside down, and then on the inside it's got a bunch of the Stranger Things logos. And then we got the classic Hellfire Club shirt. Here's a jacket with the radio station, 45 bucks, not too bad. Then you're gonna have a long sleeve sweatshirt, and then here's like a little photo op. I guess you can kind of stand as if you're inside the upside down. But we got some action figures. You got Hopper and 11. You can see they're inside of a bus. Here's the Demi Gorgon bundle. That's interesting. And then here's some little mystery packs, upside down capsules. There's all the different characters you can get. And then here's another action figure of 11, some sticker sheets, tiny treasure pack. And they have CoverGirl, what is this? Makeup stick, upside down eyeshadow, rubber chicken keychain. And we have some more little plush keychains of all the different characters. You can pick up some little buttons, some patches. Down here's Annual 2026. It's just like a fun activity book, it looks like. A coloring book with stickers. More detailed action figure of Dustin. They're gonna have a Demi Gorgon action figure. Then we got the Funko Pops. So you got one of Lucas. You got another with Lucas eating popcorn, it looks like. Then you got Hopper. You got Robin right there. And then you get Steve inside the van.
We're back over by the tribute store. I missed one of these. Down here, they have a little scarab for the mummy right there. So when you're in this room, this is where you're going to redeem the cards over here. They'll have a team member stationed over here. Yeah, there's no signage, but this is where you'll pick up the cards. Okay, so the team member had the correct code. So the tower was giving you the wrong code. The team member had the correct code. So we were able to punch it in, and now we're going to open the mystery pack. So let's get anything but Earl. Now, I did get confirmation. Earl was not done with AI. That's what we were all thinking. It was just a really sloppy job from an artist. Let's see what we get. Any new cards? Okay, we have Pearl already. Let's see. Okay, that's a new one. Ornament's new. And the tree friend is new. Okay, so these are new. Allison also got a pack, so let's see what we get for her. Okay, another ornament. Okay, we got Agurg the llama. Okay, and then Snowflake. Okay, so we got 3 new ones that I don't have, so we're up to 6. Okay, so back to Horror Unleashed. So they've released some more merchandise. Now the merchandise is online only. It's not at Horror Unleashed in Vegas, but you can purchase it online. So on the Shop Universal website, they have the new Universal Horror Unleashed collection. So they're gonna have a personalized t-shirt for $32. Then you're gonna have another t-shirt with the Horror Unleashed logo on the front. It has like a blood finish on top of the shirt. That's also gonna be $32. And then for $30, they're gonna have a Universal Horror Unleashed embroidered dad hat. Then there's also going to be a Horror Unleashed I Survived blanket, and then a Horror Unleashed hoodie that you can personalize. Now, I did purchase 2 of the items. One of the items is customizable, so we'll see if they print it or not on the shirt. It's here. The package has arrived. So it's from Shop Universal. I really hope they printed what I wrote. The print is not that bad. With the Amazon Universal shirts, they're utter garbage and like they fall apart within a couple washes. This actually looks decent. It says Horror Unleashed, right? So this is the back of the hoodie. I got it to say, I survived the no camera rule 2025. I got that printed on an officially licensed Horror Unleashed piece of merchandise. So you can kind of put whatever I think you want on the back. So it says I survived, and then underneath you can kind of put whatever you want. Let's see how the shirt looks. Now, one of the things that upset me about like opening day is there really wasn't any like opening day merch. Okay, so we got the white t-shirt, I survived, Horror Unleashed, and then on the back I put opening day 2025. Now back to the HHN update. All right, let's pop into the Today Cafe because they do have some special holiday treats we're gonna try. Yeah, they got a cake here. They got the sugar and spice cake, and then an elegant ornament. We're gonna get that. Okay, so it's time for the elegant ornament. They were saying it's like a mint mousse. Oh wow, what is going on in there? It doesn't taste terrible, it's just the weird consistency though. Okay, weird consistency. Imagine kind of a chocolatey, kind of snotty texture. I'm doing a 6 out of 10. The flavor wasn't bad, it was just kind of boring, and just the consistency just was not good on the inside. All right, for dinner before we go see Wicked, we're gonna go to Bread Box. Okay, so we got the holiday sandwich, roasted turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, sage aioli with a cranberry bread, with a side of gravy, dipped it in the gravy. That's like your entire Thanksgiving plate in one bite. Really good, really like the bread. Mashed potatoes in there, a little bit of cranberry, tender turkey. I'm gonna do like 8.5 on that sandwich, pretty solid. But now it's time for the next one. We got the breakfast sandwich, fried egg, bacon, cheddar, lettuce, chipotle mayo with a brioche bun. 8 out of 10. Really like the chipotle aioli on there. A little bit of kick to it. The bacon, oh, nice and tender, and like that thick cut crunchy bacon, really good. Okay, so I've never seen the Wicked play. I really enjoyed part 1, but I know what characters get turned into what, so I know that. But most other stuff I don't really know. Hopefully I enjoy it. In the meantime, let's go to the Lakeland Antique Mall and let's go hunt for some rare HHN items. It's one of my favorite places to visit. If you're a theme park fan, you gotta see it in person. So enjoy that while we go watch the movie. The Lakeland Antique Mall. You're gonna see so many different strange and wild things in here, and a lot of theme park related stuff. Well, you can literally buy anything here. Look, they got a freaking straight jacket. Yes, it's a real straight jacket. $329. These are cool. These are canvas cassettes. So it's made to look like an old VHS tape. Killer Clowns from Outer Space right there. The Addams Family, Beetlejuice, Scream, Halloween. So you look on the side, right, and it looks like an old VHS tape. Paper Posers. Got a little gremlin right there. And Freddy. Here's like PlayStation coasters. There's a good little gizmo right there. And then Universal Mutants. And they did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure crossover. Look at this Hunchback. Look how creepy that Hunchback plush is right there. This is where all the good stuff is. All the good stuff's in the back. We have Vault collectibles. They got all the Universal stuff, all the Disney stuff, all the stuff you just can't buy anywhere besides here. If you ever miss out on Halloween Horror Nights merch, it'll probably end up here. The Hello Kitty popcorn bucket, the Mel's bag, the Mel's mirror. You got the stained glass poster of all the houses, the Origins of Horror poster, Mel's coasters. You got the Ghoul vinyl, and you also see stuff from like years in the past. So you can really find some good deals on all this stuff. We got a 4-pack of all the Universal Monsters from HHN, Little Boo headband. This is from Darkmoor. You got Frankenstein Manor right there. King Gator popcorn bucket, the little Frankenstein monster sipper from Dark Universe, Little Boo popcorn bucket, little Death Eater plushes, Jurassic license plates. We got magnets for Ghostbusters from last year. In the cases here, they got the stuff you can't find anywhere else. They have the ET and DeLorean cutout. This is from the tribute store from Santa's Workshop. A little flask for Zombie Nation. This is a prop from Terminator. This is so good. So you got the VHS tape. This is one of the store displays that they had. It's $1,500 from HHN 2019. You got some of the signed Tribute of Terror comics. This is Fear's branding iron. This is the media gift. I have one of these at home. I'll do a deep dive into it one day. But Halloween Horror Nights 20. So it's got all the blood and distress on it, but that's gonna be the branding iron. These things are really, really, really hard to find. We got the hat for Haunted Hollow Hills. We have this mug for Terminator 2 at Universal, Dueling Dragons. They got a mug of that. They got little pieces of grass from the Beetlejuice house. RIP lanyards right there. You got some vintage park maps, some vintage buttons down there, and they have a bunch of different maps if you've missed out on those. Down here we have some of the scare actor patches. Got some Horror Unleashed coasters. This looks like it's from what, Sally Dark Rides for the ET attraction. Different stickers that I guess never got used at Universal Studios. What do we got over here? You got the Terrifier ugly sweaters. And then they have vintage HHN shirts here too. So they have team member City Walk polos. They got some of the annual pass holder shirts. They got a vintage Bill and Ted shirt right there. Here's some Eternal Bloodlines hats. So again, it's like merch that if you missed out on, you might run into it here at HHN. They're constantly adding new stuff. We have some ornaments for HHN. Some of the glasses, the Little Boo sippers, Studio Screamers. I wish they had more Studio Screamer merch this year. We've got a Caretaker glass right there. Here's some little Frankenstein monster plushies, Chucky cups. There's so much. This was from a promotion for the Lost World. This is from Terminator 2 3D. Here we have, I think this was behind the register of Arnold right there. I got some posters here. Dark Universe, Eternal Bloodlines, Stranger Things, Fallout, River Adventure right there. Then they have some phone cases. This was from Elliot's bedroom from the Summer Tribute store from years ago. And we got some more rare stuff over here. So this is really cool. This is a painting by Ed Warren. You can see Warren down there, but Ed Warren, if you've ever seen the Conjuring films, he painted this. So $3,500, so that could be yours. You got Jurassic warning sign right there. That's pretty cool. I bought a couple of these last time, but these would be the concept storyboard drawings for Back to the Future, the ride. And then down here, here's some behind the scenes images of them filming the attraction. Pictures from, I guess, opening day. That's pretty cool. We got a little Stranger Things vinyl figures. This is from the artist series from last year's HHN. We got some Universal Studios 35 signs right there. They just have so much stuff. These were like display signs inside the store. Some of the old art prints. Oh, this is a great poster when they made this for HHN. Halloween Horror Nights in person on stage. Frankenstein, the horror show of the century. And here's just like a graveyard of Little Boos. So they got all the different popcorn buckets here and then the sippers that you can pick up. They've made little spider Little Boos. They've made little bat Little Boos. So even if you don't buy anything, you're gonna see some weird and funky things. This is all from the scavenger hunt. The Men in Black Little Boo, the little Pumpkin Lord Mummy gift shop. Little Boo back there. This Little Boo is working the pole right there. Got little Grogu plushes right there. We got castles, little headbands from Pandora. Here's like a little claw machine. Little aliens, Haunted Mansion merch. What the heck is that? Oh, that's from Nightmare Before Christmas. But there's a little teddy bear. There's like little headbands for Pandora. Then we got some lamps. These are all gonna be from like Disney resorts. So this is from the Polynesian. So if you want to take home a little piece of the resorts, you can. This is also from the Poly, the Yacht Club. Captain Mickey right there. Got like store displays of Minnie. Just so much stuff everywhere you look. Mickey's Toy Shop. Here's a cast member award for an Animal Kingdom headset. Here's a part of Splash Mountain. You can see how it would look on the ride vehicle. And then there's the piece right there. Classic Figment popcorn bucket, some Figment ears, Park U's Mickey Mouse sign. But it's just like the Haunted Mansion corner. This is like concept art, like the blueprints for the overlay for Disneyland. They have some canvases, different plushes, different ornaments. If you need a little last minute gift for a theme park fan, just pop on over here. You got Captain Jack right there at the end of Pirates. This looks like artwork from some of the resorts. Oh, look at these. Oh, these are from Animal Kingdom, aren't they? Little elephant that was used on display. That's really cool. This is going to be from the Poly. So when they like switch over the themes within the resort, you ever wonder where the artwork ends up? Lakeland Antiqual. This is going to be from Fort Wilderness. One of my favorite things is the Dr. Oddfellow traveling carnival sign. You got Jack's face right there. All the scarecrows here. More of the scarecrows are right there. And over here, it's from the Summer Tribute Store. A little Eastock sign. We got lamps from Animal Kingdom. So yeah, you can set up your own little Animal Kingdom room at your house if you really, really miss it. We got some of the prizes from Animal Kingdom that you can pick up. Now over here, look at this. They got the banners from the Summer Tribute Store. Right, so you got the Dueling Dragons right there. You got the 192 Wizard. You have one of the goblins from Goblin's Feast with a little tribute right there. And then you got Bruce from Jaws. They put all those little Easter eggs in there. Back here, they just have all the neon Tribute Store signs. Like they got Slimer over there. Halloween Horror Nights banners. They got the fake Oscar. I remember that. They have the character dining experience. I wish they brought that back. You can just kind of like rummage through all the different signs. We got some signs from the comic book. Over here we have Mr. Icy's right from Major Sweets. They got Catwoman, the Penguin. You got some of the characters from Raiders of the Lost Ark with their face melting off. You have Frankenstein's monster bust. We got some Twilight Zone figures you can pick up. And then these are going to be from Shrek 4D. The three little pigs were inside there. They had a bunch of Rip Ride Rocket stuff. They have like a banner and one of the signs. But this is, I believe, the Woody Woodpecker coaster from Kid Zone. They got Wanted Pinocchio signs. We got the elevator sign from Rip Ride Rocket. Some of the shields from Shrek 40. They got the Revenge of the Dead coconut banner that was outside. I guess you can pour your milk or creamer out of this cow head. Over here is gonna be a Planters Mr. Peanut costume. $1,300 right there. And what's going on with that baby? What over here? They have a Keebler elf head. Restaurant Ronald McDonald. Oh, here's an old Colonel Sanders right there with the cane. $2,200. Here's some Donald's Dino Bash signs. Mickey's Starland. Here's a blowing bubblegum Frankenstein's monster. Oh, this sold. It's a vintage folk art head. Dear Lord, Olaf, you're cracked out on something, buddy. A little Chewbacca looking at you. Jack Daniels whiskey advertisement. Little blow mold of a Mickey Mouse right there. Look at Snow White and the Seven Dwarves right there. He's seen better days. First ever Super Soap weekend. Oh, look at these. This is like to put your candy in. They have a little Dracula. And then a Frankie. They have a Space Jam cookie jar. Connects roller coaster store display. If you're a 90s kid, we all saw one of these. It's kind of bizarre to look at. It's like a Sally Bear, but no clothes on. Sadly, it looks like Funko's days are numbered. The company's probably going to file bankruptcy, they're saying, pretty soon. This is the most little content SpongeBob I've ever seen stuck inside of a snow globe. Everybody else is kind of freaking out, though. That is this little character right here. Disney Trickster. Oh, it's from the Lion King show. Oh, okay. Look at this like old school Pinocchio, a little Jiminy Cricket figurine. Oh, these are old eyes and ears. The cast member, pretty much newspaper. That's cool. See what was happening inside the park. They got the swamp monster next to a Universal sign. Betty Boop right there. And then here we have Matilda. And she's stuffing some 3D glasses in her little bat bra. They have the Chance canvas from a couple years ago. You got the chess pieces from the Disney resorts. Put that in your backyard.
Don't stop the party. Don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Don't stop the party. Don't stop the rave. Can't feel my body, but don't stop the rave. Rave, 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 rave.
The Velociraptor now has a Santa hat. This is the old sweet shop sign from Universal. It's hanging from the ceiling. It's like the coin-operated vehicle. Santa Velociraptor has now eaten poor Buzz Lightyear. He is hanging from the claws. His foot is in his mouth. The conveyor belt has turned on. This is how all little boos are made. There's just a freaking conveyor belt with a giant rat right there. What am I witnessing right now? There you go. Okay, I got thoughts. You don't feel like you're in the scene. It's just the close-ups with the blurry backgrounds, and like, you have these amazing sets. Show off the freaking sets. Don't give me these freaking blurry backgrounds. I don't feel like I'm in the scene. It was like clunky how they were fitting in the Wizard of Oz storyline, but I guess that's how it is in the play. I've never seen the play. I'm just reviewing it as a movie. Didn't really care for part 2. I know if you're a Wicked fan, you're gonna enjoy this, but I wanted a lot more out of this film, and I had all these expectations that were gonna happen with storylines and how it was gonna happen, and it didn't happen. 6.5 out of 10. Let's get back to The Office and get back to the spookiness about talking about HHN and Stranger Things and all that stuff. Okay guys, we're back in The Office, so now let's talk about all the rumors and speculation around Stranger Things returning to HHN 35 next year. So let's kind of start from the beginning of like where we are with the Stranger Things timeline. So we've had multiple Stranger Things houses, then it went to Fright Fest. It was heavily rumored to be like a 2-year contract. I think it only went for a year because Netflix was incredibly pissed at Six Flags and Fright Fest. They tried to pull the plug on those houses multiple times. It was an utter disaster behind the scenes about those Stranger Things houses. So that means next year it would be kind of an open contract with potentially Stranger Things coming to a theme park for a haunted house. Now let's go back to the permit names. We had all the different transportation permit names. I always kind of think when they make these little code names, it's kind of based off one main IP, and then they kind of figure out how a code name of that genre of names would fit in with the houses. So, you know, Stranger Things would potentially, if it does come, be the biggest IP for HHN. If you look on all the merchandise, since the show is now released, the van, right, that Steve drives, that's a big part of it. And then the school bus, there is the school bus on the merchandise. That's how we're gonna kind of connect the code names with Stranger Things potentially coming for next year. It's still very early on in the season. We have more HHN updates coming. We still have the final night video we still gotta go over, and then the deep dive into El Artista and the backstory and the next year's story and everything. So there's more HHN content coming. I'm gonna try to crank out a ton of videos this month, so we're kind of do kind of like a mini vlogmas. So guys, on that note, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. Join the family.
We love the family!
Because I'm gonna keep you up to date on all things Halloween Horror Nights and Universal Studios around the country. I love you all, and I'll see y'all very soon. Bat bra. Oh, this sold. It's a vintage folk art.